8:13 at Tri-Cities Talk Radio. This is Carl Swan and Jules Corriere with me this morning here as we roll through the week. Tim on vacation. He will be back on Monday. And it's a little early, but it's time right now, I think, to check in with Tim. That's right. Tim Wood, the Plan Advisor. A different Tim. Hey, good morning. How are you doing this morning, Tim?
I'm doing fantastic, Carl. How about yourself?
Fine. I got Jules Corriere here writing with me today on the show.
Good morning, Tim.
Good morning. How are you?
Super.
We're rolling right along here, trying to stay as cool as we can in these crazy temperatures. So, it's I know, and with everything else going on, it's just a good day to stay indoors if we can. But, yeah. Because of the now, you wanted to talk about a couple of things among several, but there was an article, I believe, yesterday in the Wall Street Journal. The headline was "Coronavirus Spending Pushes U.S. Budget Deficit to $3 trillion for the 12 months through June." That's frightening, Tim. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it is frightening. And the big challenge right now is it seems that there's a whole group of people that think that we can just keep printing more and more money and that it's fine. But the challenge is, and the truth is, that every time we print more money and we go into more of a deficit, it means the dollars that we have are worth less. So that's really the big challenge with this whole thing, is the devaluation of the dollar.
Yeah.
And then, that's really the scary part of that. I mean, other than the fact that we're just going more and more and more in debt, is the devaluation of the dollar, really.
Of course, what drove us to this place, and it says in the headline, coronavirus spending, these monies, unfortunately, there are ways that the money didn't get to the intended recipients, but for the most part, during the spring, the money that was spent on coronavirus was necessary. It was mandatory.
It was. It was.
Yeah.
It was, but like I said, the biggest challenge is that devaluation of the dollar, and then if you put all of this together, if you add that and the potential inflation that would come with it, and the election coming up, and what's that going to do to the dollar, and then all the unrest going on in the whole world, but specifically the United States and the rioting, and then you add the pandemic on top of that, I mean, that's where there's just so much pent up, I hate to use the word fear, but there's a lot of fear out there with people as what's going to happen with our economy. And, of course, the market is tied in directly to what happens with the economy. It happens with the market. And that's where a lot of people have a lot of concern about their retirement dollars, because anybody that's got something like a traditional retirement account, like a 401k, IRA, or anything else that's tied directly into the market, obviously there's no protections on that from any kind of downside.
Right. So what are your suggestions for folks like us, ordinary folks, to do right now?
Well, that's actually one of the things that we've been talking about is one of the products that we have, what we call our safe money products. And essentially what they do is they lock in whatever your investment is, whatever you've got for your retirement, it locks it in so you never have to worry about any market downturns. You don't have to worry about losing anything in the market if there's any kind of market downturns, but you still get a part of any kind of market gains. I was actually in a webinar just this last week with a Texas A&M economics professor that's been massively successful for over 35 years in the market, and right now he is moving all of his funds into these safe money products, because even with all of his experience and all of his incredible success, he can't tell what's going to happen in the market with all of these things going on. So he's getting out and putting all his money into these safe products so he doesn't lose any of what he's built, but then he can still get a little bit of the gain.
Right. So how can we do this? So how can you help us do this? What would you advise?
Essentially, what you need to do is just get in touch with, we certainly can help, or you can get in touch with whoever your investor or your advisor is, and just talk to them about what you have. I mean, if you've got things that are market indexed products and they don't have any kind of protections against losses, then you need to talk to whoever your advisor is. I mean, of course, we would be happy to help anyone listening, but essentially talk to your advisor about these safe money products. They're going to know what you're talking about. Essentially, there are products on the market And unfortunately, more people that have money know about these than us normal folks.
Right.
But there's products on the market, some of them actually new ones, that have no fees at all, give you a good percentage of the gains but nothing of the downside, and we can tie guaranteed lifetime income into that and long-term care, which are two other big things that people have to look at as far as keeping their money safe in retirement. Is 70% of people are going to need long-term care, and a lot of people are going to run out of money if they just take money out of their savings or their 401k. Sooner or later they're going to run out. We can transition them into a product that is guaranteed lifetime income no matter how long they live. They could set a world record and live longer than anyone, and they're still going to get that income every single month that they're alive.
That sounds like it makes a whole lot of sense. And so move if you've got money invested right now into the more high-risk areas, moving them to these safe money markets is the way to go, especially during these times. And for the future, long-term care, as you were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if someone, basically what I tell people is there's three different types of investments, and you got to decide where you want your money. Do you want to have all of your money at risk, some of your money at risk, or none of your money at risk? Obviously, the all of your money at risk on the one end is that's your typical 401ks or anything that's just market index. That's all at risk. Everyone knows that. And then on the other end is what I'm talking about, are these safe money products where none of your money is at risk. So you got to kind of decide where you're at, what you're looking to do, and where you want to move forward. And then we're able to help, or certainly get in touch with who, if you've already got someone, get in touch with them and find out, what would happen to my money if the market did crash, and make a plan now for what. I mean, I think the rest of this year is going to be very crazy.
Yeah, we certainly don't want to see 2008 happen again, but things are so uncertain right now.
Right.
Yeah. Tim, Carl here, back again. You mentioned your safer products, and I'm very interested in that. Do you have a variety or several different options within those products that folks can explore?
Yes, absolutely. There's multiple different options. They're all tied into, basically what all of these options are that we're talking about, they're all tied into insurance companies, which, as we all know, are very solvent. They're not going anywhere. They're solid, and pretty much all the ones that we deal with have been around for over 100 years and have an A+ rating and all that kind of stuff. So they're not going anywhere. But inside of there, yes, there's multiple options. And what we do is we sit down with each person individually, find out exactly where you are right now and what are we looking to accomplish. And then we look to see from basically a menu of different options, what do we want to do with, where you want to go, and what product do we want to fit in to get you where you want to go. But yes, there's definitely multiple options. And then even within each individual category, like we could be talking about annuities, there's over 100 top-rated companies that do annuities, and then each annuity company has between 5 to 10 and some even more products themselves. So you do the math. I mean, sometimes people say, well, can you just send me some information? Well, sure. There's about 370 products. Which one would you like information on?
Okay.
So that's why we have to sit down and figure out where you are, what you have now, where you're looking to go, and then we can help you say, okay, here's your options, and here's what we think is the best, and here's why. And then it's just simply just transitioning from one to the other.
Very good. Thinking out loud with the plan advisor himself, Tim Wood. You said, Tim, you wanted to spend a little time today, and perhaps in the second part of our conversation here, talking about Medicare. Now, around the end of the year, we have all the TV and radio commercials and so forth urging everyone to choose their Medicare if they are so eligible. What's your take on this, and how do you help in that particular scenario?
Medicare, I'll tell you, is one of the most tricky things, and it changes every year. They just actually opened up all the certifications for 2021, so all of the agents right now are starting to do our certifications for next year. It is very tricky, and first of all, if someone is getting ready to turn 65 and has questions about Medicare, there are essentially, just in our area, there are 5 Medicare Advantage providers. One of the things that we have done with our agency is we actually have gotten certified, fully certified with all 5 of them. So we can go into someone, and I'm not just trying to push you into one particular product because that's the product that I sell. I can go in and look at your situation, all of the drugs that you take, all of the doctors you go to, which hospital you like, all of it, and then say, okay, well, with all of this plan right here is going to be the best, and, show you the numbers, the maximum out of pockets, the drug costs, all of it. So that would be one thing I would suggest, is get with someone that can look at everything that's available and give you the best option and help you move forward. Now, someone that's already 65 or older and already has Medicare, yes, the annual election period, or what a lot of people call open enrollment, is October 15th to December the 7th, and that's when you can make changes to your plan.
Okay.
So, and their plans change every year. So what I do with my clients is I get together with them normally sometime or in October, and just real quick, it takes about 30 minutes, and we review where you're at now with what you've got and what's available for the coming year. And if there's any change that needs to be made, I mean, it's seamless. It literally just, you'd get a new card the first of the year, and you'd start using the new policy. The biggest difference that I see, because a lot of the people that are listening, they have zero premium on their Medicare. They're not paying anything. The drug cost really might change a little bit. The biggest difference is the maximum out-of-pocket. There are some major differences in maximum out-of-pocket if something major happens and you have to go into the hospital. From the same company, just in the last week, I have seen that from the same company that I'm not going to mention, a maximum out-of-pocket for $3,200, and from the same company in a plan that looks the exact same, a maximum out-of-pocket of $5,700.
Good Lord.
Wow.
A year.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, is it makes sense for people, when you're ready to get with your person. If you don't have one, we'd be happy to be that person for you. But get with your person and make sure you're in the best plan, because anything could happen, and if it does, you certainly don't want to, leave massive bills for someone else or for yourself once you recover. Mm-hmm. So being prepared for whatever is, that's kind of the message with Medicare.
There you go. Thanks, Tim. One other quick question before we conclude our chat today. Of course, many veterans in the area, and naturally we thank the government for putting a Mountain Home and other veterans facilities here, and of course, as a result, many veterans in our area. Regarding Medicare, Tim, is there any difference there, or is that something you really need to sit down and consider individually?
Well, yeah, there is. I actually have a whole page on my website devoted just to veterans. Of course, veterans, now, not all veterans have VA coverage. They have to qualify for it, believe it or not. A lot of people think that just because you're a veteran, you get VA coverage, and that's not the case. But even if you have VA coverage, and I've got this literally copy and pasted right off of the VA website on my website, they say that you should get Medicare as soon as you're eligible for it. Several reasons. Number one, unless you're 100% disabled, you still have fees and stuff with the VA that you have to pay when you go. But the biggest reason is choice. You can get one of these Medicare Advantage plans. Typically, over 90% of the time, it's going to be at no extra premium whatsoever, but it gives you the choice of, you don't have to go to the VA if you want a second opinion, or if the VA is going to be 6 weeks and you want to see someone sooner, or if you just, want to go to another doctor or another hospital, it gives you other options. Plus, it gives you extra benefits, including dental, including vision, including hearing, including over-the-counter benefits. A lot of them include free gym memberships. There's all kinds of benefits that come with these that are fantastic for veterans that they don't know about yet. So, there's absolutely, and like I said, there's a whole page on my website. If any veteran has any question, go to my website, theplanadvisor.com. There's a button right there for veterans. Just click on that, and that should answer a lot of your questions.
Fantastic. The plan advisor, Tim Wood, he mentioned his website. What are other ways to get in touch with you, Tim?
Well, the easiest is the website. It's theplanadvisor.com, or someone can call me anytime, of course. It's 423-262-7919. From my website, of course, someone can send me a message. You get questions answered. We also have live chat with licensed and certified agents. So if you just got a quick question, you can just chat real quick. We can answer your question. Or we also have it set up where you can set an appointment right from the website. And, we tried to make it as easy as possible to get your questions answered. We're there to help however we can.
Tim, this has just been great stuff.
Wonderful information, and Tim will join us, of course, next week at the same time on a Thursday around 8:15. Tim, take care, stay safe, and we'll talk to you then.
Thanks. Talk to you then.